Well, I came out to the garage to cut me some wood scraps off to make a project for Valentine's. And look at this. My husband, he's out in his work area where he's planing a bunch of wood for a job he has. And all these scraps he brought in to me. Oh my goodness. It's nice wood. Boy, he knows his way to my heart. Well, I'm trying to make me an old-fashioned green scoop. I was watching Melanie Thomson. She does a lot of primitive and vintage decor in her home, and she had the real thing, and I just loved it. And I'm not going to find anything like that, so I'm going to make one myself. So I made me a template to go by, and my husband had given me this wood. I believe I put a little bit of it at the front of this video where I saw where he left that wood for me out on my table. But anyways, I chose the piece that had an angled side. The edge of it wasn't real good because if it's going to be old looking, it has to be imperfect. And I'm trying to figure out what to put around it for the sides of it. I got this Quaker Oats can. I'm going to cut that in half and try to get it around there, but I'm not sure that'll work. It worked, but I don't really like the lines in it. So I may have to find something else. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, I've cut it apart and cut it down to where it fits on the bottom. And now I'm trying to figure out, I have seen green scoops with something across here with a handle. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to have to try to curve it to where it doesn't look silly, you know, for the scoop part. Well, I'm still trying to figure it out. And I don't have anything else to use because it's not like I thought. Well, maybe I had some really, really stiff, what is this, 12 by 12 cardstock. It's heavier than normal, but it wouldn't go all the way around it. So I ended up having to use the Quaker Oat box. Okay, since I'm going to put it about right. I need to make the scoop part. So, and I kind of marked the middle right there. So I'm going to cut this piece off and then flip it over here. I am not focusing. And flip it over here and trace it off to get it even. Of course, like I said, they're not perfect anyway. So, but that's my plan. I'm going to cut this piece here off, flip it over here, trace it off, and cut it. Okay, let's see. I got to flip that this way. Oh man, this is sure wanting to curl. Wait, that's supposed to be... Trying to get it in there. I could fold it in half and just cut it on the edge, but then I'd have a crease down the middle of my board. We're going to try that. Let's see. Good enough. Okay, now let's see here. That works. It just wants to bend out more. That's okay. Now, I need a handle so I can start trying to figure out if I need to paint it after I attach it, because I'm afraid if I don't, there's no way I can hold. Yeah, I'm going to attach it somehow. And I need to find a handle. I'm trying to pull that where it's even. Yeah, I'm going to attach it, and then I may have to trim just a... I think I'll go up this down, like... I don't know. I'm going to have to attach it first. I will paint the bottom first, and then attach the cardboard and paint it. Okay, now I'm just putting a coat of the vinegar that I had put some steel wool in, and let it set for a couple of weeks. Sometimes it takes less time, sometimes more. And hopefully it turns it a good dark color. I don't know. Don't know. Have to let it dry and see. If I don't like the color, then I'll have to find some other way to make it look older. Because it depends on the wood, on what color it turns after it's dry. Okay, it has a good coat of that. I'm going to have to just let it set and dry. Okay, now I've got this taped off to paint. I've glued it on there on the wood round or half round. But I'm worried about when I go to paint it, because I don't know. I'm afraid that top coat, the top paper, will start peeling off. And it's too cold in the garage to go spray. Because think if I put a spray paint on it, it wouldn't be saturated, and then it'd be sealed. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and try to give it a coat of... I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to figure it out. I haven't got that far yet, but I'm fixing to. Alright, I took it out to the garage and gave it a quick coat. That was kind of already there, of the spray paint in. It was a sealer, flat red primer. And hopefully when I go over it with my paint, it won't come up. I might take it out and give it one more coat just to make sure. And then I'm somehow going to do a rust technique on it, and hopefully these lines will be somewhat covered up. Well, I gave it a second coat on the spray paint, so I'm going to do the outer edge. I'm going to rust it with Mod Podge and cinnamon, of course. Give it a good coat. Cover quite a bit, half of it to start with. Okay. Set that aside. Well, thought I had my lid off. Hopefully my creases cover up the little those things. I don't know. My husband is funny. He walked in here after work and he looked and I started laughing. I said, I know, you don't know what I'm making. It looks stupid. He says, I can tell what you're making. You're making a grain scoop. Okay. He knew what I was doing. Now, I'm going to tap that off. And do the other side. Okay, I wanted to show you to keep those marks from showing, you know, on the paper, that there. On the inside, I put the Mod Podge on rather heavy and gave it a good coat of the cinnamon. We can see a little bit of it, I think, right there. But I'm not going to pound it off too much, and I'm going to try taking it to the garage and putting a clear coat on it. See if I can keep those marks there from coming through. And if that works, I might at least do, you know, along here. But I've got to let that dry before I clear coat it. Okay, I took this out to the garage and I sprayed it with a clear coat. And it's on good and my seam isn't showing. So I'm happy with that. And then on the sides, I took, you can see it. That's strange because out of the camera, I mean, with my eye, I really can't see the tacks. I mean, they're rusty looking. But you can see the silver coming through. But I put tacks on them and then I put the Mod Podge and cinnamon on those. I'll still have to touch that up a bit. And to make sure this, you know, didn't pop off. It was good. This thing's pretty sturdy. Only thing I wished I had done is maybe brought the scoop down just a little bit more, but I am not going to worry about it. And then I went and got a spindle and I've sanded it down to where it didn't look new. It still has some shiny on it. But it pretty much matches the wood on there, which I wasn't really worried about that. Now I'll drill a hole right here and put my handle on with a screw. And it will be finished except to decorate. So what I'm planning on that is I've went in my stash and I had some candles that had been, you know, done like this, but they blended in. And I found this one where I had waxed it. Put a burgundy wax on it with a little cinnamon on it. And I think that's going to work because it'll show up against that. And then I found this that I got at a thrift store. I think I'm going to paint it black. But I'm going to quit for the evening and start on it tomorrow and try to get it finished up. I think I've told you everything I've done because I've done a lot of it off camera because it's just simple, you know, spreading on the Mod Podge and putting the cinnamon on it. And then I just took it out and sprayed it, pulled the paper off from it. And so far, I'm happy with the way it's looking. Now I've got to figure out how I'm going to attach it to my wall. And I've got to, I mean, after I do this, I've got to decorate in there. You know, I can't just put the candle up in there. Or you could, but not me. Alright, guys. I'll start on it in the morning and I'll come back. Alright, I've got to try to put the handle on this. So I've got to drill a hole. Make sure that went through. Yep. Okay. Now, I want to make a little indentation there so my That's probably the size. I think that's the size of bit I'll need. Just a little bit. A little bit more. That's so my screw head will go down inside. I need Phillips. Gotta change that to screw. Okay. I'm going to start this. Okay, now this is the tricky part for me. I don't know how to film this and do this at the same time. But I'm going to try it. See, when I put it down, then it... I don't think it's going down into it. I need to have it at an angle where I can get to it. Alright guys, I have to do this off camera because I can't hang on to this and get it under there at the same time. So I'll be right back as soon as I... See, I'm trying to get my handle attached. Okay, I finally got it down in there. I had to go get a different drill. This one, I think, needs the battery charged. But it's in there. And now, as you can see, the screws are flush. Or the screws flush with the wood. So now I'm going to figure out how to decorate it. Alright, now I'm going to take this little candle, cheap candle holder, holds a taper, and I'm wiping it down with some alcohol. Boy, that's really biting into that color. Yep. So now you can see why I'm painting it, because it's really a little cheapy. But I think I got it at the thrift store for 50 cents, and I knew it would work if I wanted a grubby taper, so I grabbed it. And now I have found a time to take it out of my stash and use it. So I'll paint this black. Of course, I'll let it set and dry, or I'll hit it with the heat gun. Give it a coat or two, how many ever it needs, and let it cure good. I did put this is the black paint that I put I believe it's Dover powder in it to make it a chalk paint, so it sticks a lot better than regular acrylic to things. Alright, I'm going to finish this up and give it 2 coats. Why does she do this? Do you know how much stuff's up there she could knock down? Oh, the other day she caused a mess because she came around here. Mind you, she went down back behind my monitor, all the way around, got right here, jumped up there. She started to go over there where all those rolls are, and I knew if she stepped on them, they would all go flying. So I tried to grab my ladder, a little step ladder I had, and get her down. And by the time I tried to get the step ladder, I knocked my brushes all over onto the floor, and it scared her, and she jumped from there back down to the desk. I made the mess. She didn't. I got to where I'll lock her out of the bedroom or out of my craft room. I don't know where she's going to go. Where are you going, cat? How are you going to get down? But if I bother her, I think I'll make a bigger mess than her. Yeah, you just sit up there. Oh my goodness. Kit Kat, I'm going to have to clear off space. I think she's getting ready to go. She did it. Onto my printer. And that's why I keep my printer covered with plastic. Okay, I wanted to make a little wreath to set in there. So I got this swag, and I bought this at the thrift store for $1. And I'm pretty sure when I showed my thrift haul, somebody said that it was one from Hobby Lobby, that you could get it at Hobby Lobby. But anyways, I wanted to show you what I was using. And I cut me a bunch of little pieces off. And I was trying to hot glue it, and the hot glue, it was showing and it was popping off. So I got me some floral wire, and it's actually much easier than trying to hold the piece down till the glue dries. So I am just putting it on with floral wire, bringing it under here, twisting it, and cutting it off. But I'll just go on around and keep doing that till I'm satisfied with the way it looks.